Justin, can H1B stamping be done 2 to 3 years after receiving the approved I-797A? And is it possible to avoid traveling for stamping in the meantime?
You have to go for stamping during the validity period of the H1B. So, yeah, in theory, you could go for stamping 2 years after the H1B is approved. Right now, what needs to be kind of sussed out is the individual in the United States or outside of the United States? If you're in the United States and you change status to H1B, you're counted against the cap on October 1st, the first, or whatever date you put as a start date. But October 1st is the first date you can be. So you're counted against the cap after that point. At that point, there's no requirement to go get an H1B visa stamp. You don't have to go get a visa stamp unless you're going to travel internationally and return to the United States. If you're doing that, then you need the visa to come back in H1B status. But there's no sort of, timeline there that says you have to go within X amount of time from the approval. If you're outside the United States and your case is approved for an H1B and you're saying, can I wait 2 or 3 years? You could, but you do need to understand that when you go for your visa interview, your job offer has to still be valid, meaning that the H1B that was filed is still available in the United States for you to work in the position that was filed in the petition. So if you wait 2 years and you go to the consulate for a visa interview and say, hey, I'm coming here for my initial visa interview to come to the United States to work on H1B, you might see some pushback as to them saying, why the hell did you wait 2 years before coming in for your visa interview? And so, yeah, you'll see a higher level of scrutiny. Theoretically, it's still possible to get the visa, but I would just say you need to be prepared for that level of pushback. That is important to note, though, because I think that there's a very big distinction that needs to be drawn here. If your H1B for your initial H is consular processed, you are not counted against the cap until you get that visa. Until you get the visa stamp, you have not been counted against the cap. So what I mean by that is this: if company A sponsors your H1B and you stay outside the United States for the entire validity period, you never go get a visa stamp, and then you say, I want to be on H1B again. Well, you kind of shot yourself in the foot because you didn't activate, quote unquote, the H1B within the parameters of the timeline that you had to activate it. So you can do it, but I would recommend anybody that has an I-797B for a consular processed H, go get your visa and get it stamped. Maybe come into the United States for a little bit. You allegedly wanted to when you had them sponsor your H1B. So yes, do the visa stamp. Preferably come into the U.S. If you are in the U.S., you can go for visa stamping at any time as long as it's during the validity period of your H-1B. So as long as that's the case, you're good to go. You could, in theory, stay for 3 years and get an H-1B extension and then go get your H-1B visa stamp if you really want to. So I think I adequately answered that question.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much, Justin, for taking that up.
You know why I'm vacationing in Dubai right now? Because I stopped driving.